of the Ascended Master technology. We call it, has given to us by the Ascended Master, particularly Saint Germain. He has released this technology, for so that all of us, the sons and daughters of God, can come together and use this technology to compress, so to speak, time and space, and be together and use this technology, for the right use of it, as is in the golden ages has been done in the past. So welcome to all of you once again. It's 10 o'clock here in all over the world, wherever you are. In New Delhi, it is a nice weather, kind of getting a little hot these days, a little bit. So today is Sunday, the May 21st. We have an exciting bouquet of light program. Something that musical, something with about the Ascended Master teaching, particularly about we are continuing our journey in part 11 of how to manifest the qualities of the ruby ray in our heart. In other words, how we become, how we manifest, how we restore our blueprint of ruby ray heart that we once had when we came from the heart of God in the very beginning, long time ago. We have forgotten that, but here is Ascended Masters and their technology and their teachings, and they are telling us how we can regain the so-called lost paradise. So I will share with you about that. Who will be talking about today? Particularly one master. I will announce his name a little bit later. So let's have the first thing first. We'll like to have an invocation from our beloved messenger. We call her Guru Ma. So Jay, all yours, my friend.
In the name of the beloved mighty I Am presence with us, in the name of our beloved Holy Christ Self, we call by the power, wisdom, and love of the Lord God Almighty to the very heart of beloved Saint Germain, legions of violet flame angels from the heart of Lord Zadkiel and holy Amethyst. Come now and gather with us in song and prayer in praise of the Lord. We call thee forth now in the victory of the God flame. We ask that this violet flame of freedom shall touch every heart on earth. In the name of Saint Germain, in the name of Jesus Christ, let the full power of freedom from the heart of the Godhead be transmitted now by myriad angels and saints and holy ones of God to inspire a world to be free, to overthrow every form of tyranny over the mind, the heart, and the soul, whether from within or from without. We call thee forth, Almighty God. Let the violet flame now transmute the cause and core of all evil, all that is not of the light, all that is anti-light and anti-Christ on planet Earth. Let it be consumed by the violet transmuting flame, and to that end we sing in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and the Mother. Amen.
I'd like to welcome all of you who have joined as of now, and I'll be pausing in between and who can join us. It's going to be nice bouquet of light, as I said, today with the Ascended Master El Moria. So we'll talk about El Moria, how we can look at his being as our Guru and look at his qualities from his heart and how we relate those qualities to our heart. So we can magnify, attract, help, get help from him, to transmute anything that is not of the light that matches with the qualities of El Moria's diamond heart, we call it. And we can slowly but surely get transformed into the ruby ray, which is a diamond heart. Also, another name for the ruby ray, in my opinion, is diamond heart of El Moria, we call it. I'd like to welcome on behalf of the Chananda Culture Society, Tani ji, welcome. Lavina ji, welcome. Sarika ji, welcome. Mahani ji, welcome. JP Saab, welcome. Shruti ji, welcome. And Gary, my friend, welcome from America. kind of late over there, but welcome. I'm grateful that you are here with us. So we'll begin. First thing first, about little bit talking about Ascended Master El Moria. Some of you might have heard his name. Some of you might not have heard his name. Some of you may a little bit about him. Some of may know not a whole lot about him, so to speak. He is the founder of the Summit Lighthouse in 1958. He contacted Mark Prophet, and later on Elizabeth Clay Prophet, joined and Summit Lighthouse, and the journey began of the Summit Lighthouse to this point. El Moria is really, I have a little video about that in Guru Ma's word. She'll explain about some of his lifetimes and also what he means to us. So our focus today is really, a lot of time we look about at these masters or gurus or Devi Devtas, God and goddesses, and we look at them and we adore them, we love them, but we go to them with an empty bowl of our requests, our whatever we need, and whatever we think is troubling us and this and that, And Ascended Masters have told us that what they have, we can have. See, that is something more than begging bowl of the things that we ask for, So masters, Devi Devata for that reason, or for any cosmic being, they are ready, willing to give us everything that they have themselves, because they have, particularly Ascended Master, they have walked this path of that we are walking in the human body. So they know the trials, the tribulations, and all the pains and sufferings and temptation and etc. that we face. So they really want us. They know that our limitations also in our chakras, that they cannot give us everything that we want that they have. So, it's like we had to go to, a child has to go to kindergarten, and, then the next primary school and high school and middle school and high school and then college and, so on. It's a journey. It's a learning. Like a child begins to learn how to walk, how to crawl, how to walk, and how to walk slowly, then run, all those kind of things. They come with practice, but they come with certain things the master call it discipline, self-discipline, constancy, controlling of the desires, with the mind that we know. They have a whole lot of teaching. El Moria is a Chohan. Chohan means he is a guru. It's a Hindi word, Sanskrit word, Chohan, master. There are 7 Chohan, 7 rays. So El Moria is the first, you can imagine 7 gatekeepers, 7 guards, standing on each of the gate of the ray that you want to master. So he is the Chohan of the first ray of the blue ray, we call it, will of God. Why will of God? You might be thinking, there are so many other things, like, wisdom of God, love of God, the purity of God, healing of God, all the different qualities, mercy of God, all those things, they are there. Why he is the first on the first gate? This is the reason that he has told us. He says that he teaches his students, which is you and me and everyone else, to learn how to be disciplined in our mind, our feelings, our body, mind, body, and soul. 24/7 is called self-discipline. Now, self-discipline is maybe something loose word for a lot of us, because we have not been taught that. Our food makes us lazy. Everything that we around us, the air, environment, the friend, the neighbor, the family, the music, everything else all slows us down. Oh, sleepness, oh, I can do this thing tomorrow. I can get there late. And one of the most common thing that I have noticed in people, particularly I'm speaking from being from India, that everybody does that. Everybody comes late. So what? So this everybody is a rebellious excuse. Everything is excuses. But there are few yogis through chelas with a capital C. Almora teaches us that. How you can become a chela with a capital C, not with a chela with a small c. So he says that a lot of you may come to me. Almora has wording or something like that. I'm paraphrasing that. May come to me to apply for a chelaship under me. I'll say, okay, you become my chela, but I'll train you. He may not be visible when he says he will train you. He will train you observing from his retreat in Darjeeling through a book. He gives us how you are watching, how you are observing yourself, your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, your everything through self-discipline. This self is a very capital S with a higher self, not with a lower self. Lower self is a discipline with the soul, which is lazy, which is also called the dweller, the negative mind is also self, we can say that. So when soul and negative mind are at the same vibration, that is a small s. Capital S is Atma, ourself. And we have to, so he's a has a mind of, Almora has a mind of God, will of God, which is mind of God. The will of God is a diamond shining mind of God that he wants us to have. And here is a guru who has you're going to see his picture in a minute, has very stern eyes, but he is very, very gentle, very soft, very loving, very kind. We have been with him in many, many embodiments in the past. With all the masters, but I'm talking about Almora today. He has said that. So that he is a master that we adore, because when we graduate from his first gate, then we go to second gate and third gate and so on and so forth. And our journey begins regaining the lost paradise, regaining the ruby ray, regaining the becoming our path to our victory in the ascension. So I like to have that, Jay. Can we have the YouTube, please? It's about 7 minutes long, YouTube. And I'll give you a little bit of more of an overview about what I have said about Ascended Master Almora.
These masters that I would speak to you of are called the Lords of the Seven Rays. And I have told their story in a pocketbook, which is by that very name, Lords of the Seven Rays. It's 2 books in one. The first half gives biographical background. Who were they? When did they live? What did they learn? What did they bring forth? The second half is their teaching. This book emphasizes the fact that there are retreats of these Lords of the Seven Rays, whom we call Ascended Masters, and that these Ascended Masters have opened their retreats as universities of the Spirit. The Ascended Masters teach us through the Keepers of the Flame lessons, sponsored by Saint Germain, how we can, as we go to sleep at night, pursue meditation, visualization, prayers, and decrees, that we might enter the etheric body, our souls journeying in the etheric body to the etheric plane where these retreats are. Now, the universities of the Spirit of these 7 Lords officially opened to vast numbers of people, in fact, tens of thousands of people, that would journey there at night on January 1, 1986. There is no question in my mind that all seekers in the New Age, or a vast percentage of them, have at one time or another been taken by angels of light to these inner retreats, and that because of an inner learning process that has begun to percolate into the outer mind, whether through questioning or through seeking or dissatisfaction with one's current state of awareness, there has come about a sense of pursuing a path and arriving at the place when the full awareness should come to you of what you have been learning on these inner planes of being, even while you're functioning on this plane. So the basis of that teaching that you learn at inner levels is the basis that I've given you this evening.
That is the cornerstone of your life, your purpose, your goal, and your destiny in this life. This book then is exciting, easy reading, and it's very heavily illustrated. When I tell you about the Lords of the Seven Rays now, and I talk to you about their embodiments, the slides you see are just a few of the hundreds of illustrations that there are in this book. So we begin with beloved El Moria, known as the Lord of the First Ray. He may look fierce, but he's fiercely devoted to the will of God, because the first ray is the ray of God's will. That devotion to the will of God shines in him in these following embodiments when any one of you may have known him and walked with him. The first we record is Abraham, 2100 BC. Scholars assume that Abraham was either a humble nomad or a mythical figure, but archaeological evidence now confirms the biblical portrait of a wealthy military chieftain. He lived in Sumer, came out of Ur of the Chaldees in obedience to the call of the Lord. El Moria was embodied as Melchior, one of the three wise men. They used a science of the stars, of astrology, to follow not only the place where Jesus was born, but the year and the hour of his birth. He was Arthur, king of the Britons, in the 4th or 5th century. Until recently, Arthur has been assumed to be legendary, but today both archaeological and literary investigations reveal a 4th or 5th century leader who conforms to the profile of King Arthur. He used Roman military tactics and lived in Scotland. There are also locations that say that Camelot was in England, not too far from Glastonbury. El Moria was embodied as St. Thomas Becket. 1118 to 1170, he was Lord Chancellor of England, friend and advisor to King Henry II. He became Archbishop of Canterbury. He came into conflict with the king over the rights of the church. And shortly following Christmas, on December 29th, 1170, he was murdered in Canterbury Cathedral by 4 knights who took literally Henry's remark that he wished to be rid of this turbulent priest. The tremendous bravery and courage with which he went to that altar knowing that these men were pursuing him is just one more life's example of the dedication of his soul to be the embodiment of the will of God. The strength and the courage of beloved El Moria, even in the embodiments I have thus far named, is a guiding light to all who know him and feel the presence of his love. El Moria is the master who called me when I was a student at Boston University. He appeared to me. He was the first master I had ever seen with my own inner eye, with the exception of Saint Germain, who had come to me when I was 18. He was there in full presence, powerfully radiating his aura, and said, "I have need of a feminine messenger. Go to Washington to be trained under Mark Prophet." That was his message. Having so delivered it, he moved on. Moria is very straightforward, very direct, and very much active in the affairs of state in the world today, as he was in his embodiment as St. Thomas More, 1478 to 1535, Lord Chancellor of England. He was lawyer, judge, statesman, author, poet, and humanist. All of those callings reflect the first ray.
The preceding lecture was given by Elizabeth Clare Prophet, world-renowned author and spiritual teacher. The Summit Lighthouse is an international spiritual organization dedicated to universal enlightenment. Founded in 1958, the Summit Lighthouse has been a beacon of truth to thousands worldwide and a leader in New Thought spirituality. The preceding program has been brought to you by the Summit.
Well, we're going to take on or ponder upon and talk about some of those qualities that we saw in this video from the perspective of Ruby Ray, how to master the Ruby Ray in our heart, because that is the theme of our series that we are on part 11. Before we do that, I'd like to sing a song to Almoria. It's a beautiful song. We had like, I think about 7 or 8, maybe up to 10 songs in our songbook, and they're all different. I suggest that you do not have a songbook. You may want to get a songbook. You can download it from the, or you can call Poonam. She can send you something songbook that you want to listen to. That they are like bhajan, they're like devotional. When you listen to a bhajan or a song like this, they're different from doing decrees or chanting mantras. They go deep into your heart. Whereas you can look at the mantras and the decrees, they go in a circular motion around your heart. But so like a radius, of the circle. Yeah. I think it's like we have been told that the ratio of the decrees to the songs or bhajans is a pi ratio, which is 22 something over 22.7 over 3, which is like 3.15 or something like that. So whatever we do about, if you do like 15 minutes of Vala Flame mantras, do about 5 minutes of the bhajans or songs, devotional to get recharged. We also have, I listen to as a Sikh, I listen to shabds, we have, yeah, thank you, Jay. This is a what ratio of Vala Flame to Sanskrit mantras, or you can say that, but songs or, decreased Vala Flame mantras or songs. So 15.7 minutes, 5 is a 5 minutes. So you can have 60 minutes, 4 times, about 19, 20 minutes. So you can see that there's a ratio of about, 60 to 20. So it's about 1/3 ratio of whatever time you allowed. And what it does is, as I was saying that as a Sikh, I also listen to the shabds, which are very beautifully sung by some of those musicians in the gurdwaras, and they recharge me also with the same kind of light energy. So we're going to sing a song. It's called Song 192 to Almoria. If you have a song book, or maybe you can look at the wording. But in this case, the YouTube has the wording already printed on it. So you may want to sing that. But singing that, we invite Almoria, his vibration, to ourselves, to our devotion, as like we do that to any deity, any guru, any master, So let's do that now.
For our love and devotion to all men.
as we were singing this song, towards the very end of this song, there is something like the goal of life, ascension. You might be thinking, goal of life is ascension. You know, what does that mean? I asked the same question when I first joined Summit Lighthouse. The goal of life is ascension. So I can do it next life. I know that. I've been told that. And why hurry? You know, let me enjoy. Let me have my things of life. Let me do whatever I want to do. Everybody's doing that. So so that was my. I think I can say that probably most of us think like that. Because that's the way we have been programmed or taught, or society does that, and we kind of copy, or we can say like everybody in my family, everybody around me is doing the same thing. Let's go to party, let's go there, let's have a good time, let's enjoy ourselves. Next life, we think about ascension next life, you know. And also, we don't take the goal of life ascension very seriously. And here is something that I want to share with you what I have learned from the Ascended Master's teaching that may be helpful to you. The goal of life is when we came from the very beginning, long time ago, we came with Sanat Kumara, most of us. Sanat Kumara, we came from Venus, 144,000 of us. And we came here and to the earth, and we knew we are here for a short visit to the planet Earth. And all the Sanat Kumara, Kartika, jinko hum bolte hain, he warned us very lovingly, of course, that, and he knew that we will forget that, because the energy from the Venus to energy on the planet Earth, there are two different kind of planets, two different kind of energies. So he knew that we are hot over there, or also when we are kind of like a child born, newly born child is very pure. As it grows up, society, energy around, food, everything else, music, this and that, and it becomes, those energies do affect, and he knew that those energies will affect us after many embodiments, that we will forget that. But we knew that we were in the beginning, that we were here for a short time to educate the people on the earth about the goal of life. And we forgot ourselves the goal of life, which is moksha, which is ascension. And we were thinking like people were thinking in this earth, So that is what the goal of life is. Ascended Masters have told us also that we do not know. It's called procrastination. Procrastination we use as a mental trick, that we use, our negative mind uses as a mental trick to trick us. So procrastination means postponing. We can do it later. I can do it tomorrow. I can do it next lifetime. I can not enjoy that. So procrastination comes from the consciousness of being rebellious. We all have that seed of being rebellious. It's not being disobedient to the will of God. When we're not listening to the will of God, we are not in the will of God. We are kind of, doing a my way, highway kind of thing. I want to do my way. Who are you to tell me? I have a free will. We take the meaning of free will the way it suits us, in a particular situation. So that is called the energy of rebellious and procrastination. Ascended Masters have told us that procrastination in this case, like why moksha in this life, why ascension in this life is this. We do not know. Nobody knows about it. I'm speaking for myself also, as I speak for all of us. I do not know. If I have the teaching, if I have a full plate of teaching, khana, beautiful, Ascended Master's assortment of teachings in front of me, will of God teaching on the Almoria, and also wisdom of God, the love of God, the threefold flame, the knowledge of the I am that I am, knowledge of the science of the spoken word, and many other teachings which are on the TSL, encyclopedia, and more. Become that, not only read that, not only know that, but become that and put into practice. Because we do have made mistakes, we continue to make mistakes. Their masters have given us a whole toolbox, if I want to use that word also, toolbox of this decrease, toolbox of that teaching from different perspectives that we can apply, we can use it. So if we do having this golden platter, everything in golden platter being served, teaching of the Sunday Master, and not taking it seriously or ignoring it and saying, well, I'll do it next life. Next life, I do not know, but speak for myself, where I will be, what family, what city, what neighborhood, and because the circumstances and the environment do affect the soul. I want you to know that there's a lot of false teaching that wherever you are in this life, spiritually, you pick up from that point onward. Not so. There's a lot of false teaching, false interpretation of the teachings of Sunday Master that tell us the truth. I do not know where I will be the next life, what family, what circumstances. A lot of drugs, a lot of things, a lot of that, a lot of energy, a lot of gossip, a lot of talking, a lot of this, a lot of cell phone, a lot of, all the things on the cell phone, all the things could be, and I will be deprived of this opportunity that I have now. Masters have given us that we must take the Sunday Master teaching in this life, as Almoria will be listening to his words in a journey on the how to manifest the qualities of the ruby ray in our heart. I think that will enlighten us. Enlighten means taking the next step of trying it, putting it on. I think because I do not know, I do not want to know. I want to make my ascension in this life. Here is something that will Saint Germain and the other masters have done for us. We do not have to make 100. We do not have to balance 100% of our karma, as we have been told. I did not know that. This is something new. So there are not a lot of new things that Sunday masters are bringing to our awareness that people did not know that. A lot of people still think they have to balance 100% of their karma. How they balance? Oh, just do it. Karma yoga hai, Raj yoga hai, Bhakti yoga hai, all different kind of, Jannan yoga hai, Gyan knowledge, all the things. They are good, but Violet Flame is here. New, something new, another new piece in our toolbox. And also the knowledge of the I am that I am, Brahmasmi, threefold flame in our heart. So these are the three pieces that I want you to know that are unique. I may not know in next life. I will have access to these teachings, access to these tools. I will be able to apply them. So I can balance 51% of my karma in this life. Only 51%. That is something new, not 100%. You might be thinking, oh, what about the other 49%? Masters have told us, Sunday Masters have told us. How they have told us? They have given a body of dictation through their messenger Mark Prophet and Elizabeth Clare Prophet. Mark Prophet ascended in 1973. Elizabeth Clare Prophet, his twin flame, ascended in 2009. They have left a body of teaching which is available in the book form, in videos, in audio, on YouTube. Every minute we have degree books, we have to Violet Flame degrees, everything. Above all, you can go to TSL Encyclopedia on Google, and you can find many more answers. So I think we can balance the 49% our karma as Elizabeth K. Prophet, we call her Guruma, taught us that Sunday Master retreats that are open, but retreats of the Chauhans are open in January 1, 1986 onward. Our soul can journey over there at night. We can make a call to Archangel Michael to take our soul to the retreats of different masters that are also available in TSL Encyclopedia. Just put the word retreats of the masters, and they'll tell you of the Sunday Master retreat of the 7 Chauhans, where are they, and how you can go there. And I think there is a lot. We can balance 49% of our karma over there, but it is much more easier to balance our karma 51% while we are in embodiment physically, because we see the people, we can serve them, we can meet their needs, we can help them, we can have a Violet Flame teaching right in front of us. So ladies and gentlemen, that is my my 2 cents, worth of sharing with you before we go to the next part of our presentation. I'd like to welcome, I think many of you have joined. Rita ji, welcome. Gitanjali ji, welcome. Manjusha ji, welcome. Pawan ji, welcome. And Kinshi ji, welcome. So let's go on, my friend, to that presentation that we are talking about, how to manifest the qualities of the Ruby Ray, part 11. Today we will be talking about Ascended Master Almoria's mind and how that mind, will of God, is connected to the Ruby Ray, manifesting Ruby Ray. I will say differently, how we can have the Ruby Ray and become, how we can have the diamond shining mind of God in us as a Ruby Ray. I'm going to say that way. Because there are many masters, they have the Ruby Ray masters, and they have mastered the will of God and diamond shining will of God. And, we have become that, they have overcome all those obstacles in their way. It is possible. Sometimes when I used to go, when I joined the Sammelat house, I used to go to the other, before I joined the Sammelat house, I used to go to some lectures, I'll get very excited when they say that. But then I come home and then what is then that happens? Energy comes back. The energy that I was feeling before, it rolls back again. And lecture अच्छा था, enjoy किया है, लेकिन energy तो वही है, कोई फर्क तो पड़ा नहीं है, So like a temporary pleasure, temporary bliss, fulfilling. So I analyze that self, that part in myself. Why? And you may have the answer also. You might have experienced that also. You might be probing there for the answer. It might help you you can ask me the questions suggest your opinion. But at the end of this presentation, I have more time today. I have given you more. I want to give you more time today on the question and answer, as I said before. You can share with that. But what I thought that maybe I was allowing my mind to wander again, loose. I was not disciplining my mind. I did not have self-discipline. I was not having control, which is Almoria does that. I was just going back to passive situation. Passivity means absorbing like a sponge. Whatever people say, oh yeah, or responding back, or just fighting people with, not having the understanding how to respond. Sometimes I become a bully. Sometimes other people become a bully with me, because I have said, I have to defend myself, otherwise they will roll all over me. That kind of excuse. I used to do that. We all go through that as experiences of learning. Today, through this particular slide that we want to be talking, a couple of slides I have on Almoria, how we can overcome those swinging back and forth, up and down. One day we feel very high, or one moment we feel very high. Next moment, all the memories come back. He did that to me. She did that to me. I was right. I was, that was wrong. That was injustice. I think the simple solution I have said is a process, ladies and gentlemen. I am your fellow traveler on this journey, fellow chela, you can say that. Your brother, whatever you want to call me. I felt that. Almore have felt that. Mark Prophet has felt that. Elizabeth Prophet has felt that. That's why we are in human embodiment, to help each other how to learn. But we also have a toolbox of decrease. We did not have this toolbox of decrease when I joined Swami Lighthouse way back in 1977. Master saw that chelas were struggling, and they wanted to give more degrees, because those degrees that when I joined were not enough. So Master cannot give more degrees until the chelas are using it. It's like same thinking as Guru will say that. Are they using? But I either gave them, they're not using. So Lords of Karma, which is like a Supreme Court, they say, well, why give them more? They're not using it. But when we are using it, we are working, they gave us more degrees. Now we have more decrees than we had. And when I joined in 1977, there, I think at least 10 or more decrees were added, which I felt that I was feeling a lot of energy. But I was doing that everything I could. But masters knew that we have judgment call, we have protection calls, we have a threefold flame calls, we have a ruby ray calls. Yeah, and we have so many new calls that were the dweller call 20.09. We have binding of the dweller call. Many calls were not there when I joined. Something like that. So this is now those calls are very powerful. So we don't go in this up and down swinging. So let's go to J. I want to go directly to, I'm looking at the clock. I want to give people more time today for question and answer as I promised them. So let's go to the main thing. Let's move on to those I think 2 slides in the middle of the presentation, Almoria. You can, yeah, that's the one. Thank you. So this is manifesting diamond heart of Almoria. Some of the things Guruma mentioned in her YouTube presentation, I can say manifesting the qualities of the diamond half Almoria in us, we, you, me, is possible. It's not just to read and say, well, if you want to take a note on that, this thing will be posted on the YouTube, also on the Facebook. You can visit this particular slide, and you can say, yeah, I need that. This is how I can do that. I'm going to read that. First bullet. Some of the qualities to manifest from the Almoria, the will of God that Almoria has mentioned are courage. Courage for what? Courage to get things done with the self-discipline. Self-discipline. Not being courage means being active, not in a passive. Passive is a sus, lazy, procrastinated mode. Oh, courage now, on time, firm. This, like standing with a straight spine, not like this. Courage, certainty. What is certainty? You know that certainty. Okay, but you promise to do it. You know that you'll do it. And Almoria will help you, Master will help you, Angel will help you. And you know that they're not visible. You will not see them, but you will feel them. You get the momentum established. Power. Do you think of God as power? Power to use the thing? Yes. Love has a power of its own. Will of God is a power to get things done. Will of power is not to, I went to bed late last night because there was some program from America. So I went to bed like after 2 o'clock, 2 a.m., 2:30. And I knew I had to get up early in the morning because I got up at 7 o'clock. I have only 5 hours sleep. So when I got up even before my alarm came on. And I said, well, I can sleep another few minutes or half an hour. I said, no. I tried for 5 minutes. I said, no, Jaspal, get up right now because you're going to fall asleep and then you will be chasing. You'll be trying to catch up. I don't want to be catch up in mode. I want to be on upfront mode. So I just got up, went to my bathroom, washed my face. I was I'm ready to do whatever I have to do. Now, those are the things. I'm not talking about myself. You must be doing that already. I'm sharing that with you that sometimes those energies of, I not get enough sleep. I can sleep later on today. I can sleep tomorrow. But this moment, you have to get up, you have to get things done. And that is what is called the power, certainty, courage, forthrightness, self-reliance, dependability, my friend, dependability. Whole life wave is depending upon you. 144,000, you came to help many, many people. I came to help, serve. You can say that is a better word. Many, many people who are looking for this truth. A Sunday Master's teaching is the truth. There are many, many false gurus, false teachers who will elude us to the all sense of healing. You can heal you this, you can use this way and that way and this way. And they come in a wolf in sheep's clothing. Wolf in sheep's clothing, like my false gurus, the healer, so-called. Faith. I'm going back to dependability, faith, and initiative. What is initiative? You set your goals, you make initiative that you will do today, these degrees today. Now, 1, 2, 3, and you have a matrix. We have sent everyone a matrix. I don't know how many of you are doing, but I'll encourage you. Every month we have a matrix. You do your decrees for half an hour, or then you log it in, and at the next month, 28th of May, we will offer those decrees to the masters as our acceptable offering. Multiply them, master, and bring us back to the healing of ourselves and everyone. Almora is part of that. The mandala to receive our offering. I suggest you that please join us next next Sunday. We have different timing. I will talk about that. We'll have a new matrix, but we'll also offer these decrees that we are doing. We have one more week to do those decrees, which are available on the Chananda prayer group. And also, I think if you have any question, talk Poonam, ask Poonam or me. I'll be happy to send you. Second bullet, in Almoria's words, now these are his words now from this point. Constancy is the key virtue that I must have in those who truly desire to be one with me. Constancy, constancy. Are you constant? Are you there? What you do, decree, what you say, you are, take small steps, baby steps. Don't take big steps. Don't promise him that you will do 1 hour or you do so many decrees or you will do this and you're not able to do that. But be constant, we need small progress. That's what I did. When I joined, I was coming from a Sikh family. I had to make adjustment. Going to Gurdwaras on Sundays, or going to the teaching center to do decrees, and I said to make adjustment. Almoria, what should I do? I want to be constant, but I want to do the right thing. I want to do the middle way path. Help me. And so mastered, but there's a word called, I don't want to use that very from everyone, but there is a lukewarm chela, or hot chela and cold chela. COLD, cold, hot, 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 and lukewarm. Almora says you can be either hot or cold. Cold means I don't want the teachings. Hot can be, like somebody was very, I love the teaching. I want to do that. I want to be on the path. I want to continue. But lukewarm is Hindi में बोलते हैं गुनगुना, पंजाबी में बोलते हैं कोसा कोसा, not lukewarm. He says there's a teaching in the Bible that God will spew, मुंह से निकाल देंगे out of his mouth to a person who is lukewarm chela. We don't want to be lukewarm chela. Either we are becoming a chela with a capital C or we are not. Masters have said that this path requires a lot of discipline, a lot of work. It's not बैठे हो जाएगा सब काम, because a lot of teachers, a lot of false good teachers. अरे ये करो वो करो, बस enjoy करो your life and put your mind on whatever you want to do. Just do half an hour, 1 hour, और मंदिर में जाके माथा टेको और मंत्रा पढ़ दो, बाकी दिन जो है अपना ठीक जाएगा. We have to keep our attention on our I am presence. Try to keep our attention on I am presence 24/7, which is a Herculean task. I know that, but we can try that. I was telling someone other day, Punjabi mein there is a Shabad. I think it's Guru Arjan Dev. We have 10 gurus. This is 5th Guru, Guru Arjan Dev. उन्होंने लिखा है, एक कड़ी ना मिलते तो कल युग होता, उन कद में लिए सुनिए Guru Bhagavanta. He was talking to his Guru, number 4 Guru. He was his master. I want to see you. When I don't see you for a minute, it's like a Kali for me. I feel lost. I feel confused. When I'm going to see you again, Guru. I took it like that. I say, when my attention is not on my I am present, I feel like I'm lost. That is what Jesus did when he came to India. He mastered this art of becoming one. Where your attention goes, there we go. That we become that. That is the key. Attention goes on something gossiping. Party में लास्ट गए थे रात ना को, उसमें ये कहा, ये पिक्चर देखी, उसमें ये हुआ. Our energy is going on. We don't want our energy to go there. Just Kali-yug. That's why it's called Kali-yug. In ignorance, that cycle. Our energy flows from, good energy goes from here to there. But when you put our energy on I am present, energy flows from I am present to us. Energy flows from the higher level to the lower level. Always. When you are on the higher level, we look at the things on the lower level, energy will leak. And we feel depressed, more depressed. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what the meaning of it. Almoria's word, I'm reading that. Constancy is the key virtue that I must have in those who truly desire to be one with me. Third bullet, if I would train you personally, word personally is very important. He will train us. He does train. You may not see him, but he says, I send my messenger to a book, to an ant, chinti, to a person, to anyone, and could be your boss, could be your peon, could be your taxi driver, could be something, lower, in office that you are, and he could be more at talking. So this is how he says, if I would train you personally, beloved, I must have from you an unflinching constancy, whereby you maintain a steady level of absorption of the blue flame of the will of God. What is will of God? Will of God is not, because sometimes you saying, it's my body, it's my life, it's my thing. I have to do what I want to do. This is the will. I have a free will. So, well, that is again, I said before, this is the human will. We are divine beings. If we know that, we believe in that, we are God's man, not a human. We are God man, God woman, not human beings, as people will call it. Hu word HU is for a gorilla and for animal. I mean a monkey, evolved from monkey, Darwinian theory. Not so. We came from the will of God in the very beginning. God created us, and we are to know that will of God, and that's what Elmoria is talking about. Down to regain the lost territory. It's not easy, I'm telling you, but it's possible because Elmoria is our mentor. We place our hand in Elmoria's hand. Elmoria, I don't know how to do that. I don't understand that. I know, but he has given us some decrees. There's decree 10.03, 10.03, 10.09. 2 decrees to Elmoria. But there are other blue flame decrees also. But these 2 decrees are 10.03 and 10.09 to will of God, to strengthen the will of God. And Almoria's words are there also. Okay, last one. You must have a momentum on giving the decrees to the Sunday Master who serve principally on the first ray. So there are many other masters who are given the decrees on the blue ray. Surya is one, Lord Himalaya is one, Vyavastavatam Manu is one, Hercules is another one. There are many decrees to the will of God in the blue ray section in the decree book. Next slide, please, Jay. Realize this, beloved. It is well to make yourself a devotee of the will of God. इसको पंजाबी में बोलते हैं तेरा पाना मीठा लागे. पाना मतलब will of God. But we say that. We say that, we sing that, we use that, we preach others, and we apply to ourselves. There's so many things happening in the world. I don't want to go there. So many issues. And people want to do that, my will, I will do that, whatever, my body, I can do whatever I want. Those are, again, I said, they're anti-will of God. They are human will. And we have to know the difference between discernment. How do you discern that? Will of God or human, not will of God? That's a question. That's that decree, I said, 10.03, 10.09. Those decrees, Almoria will help you discern that. Ladies and gentlemen, that is, I'm as a fellow traveler, I had the same kind of question, and I still have many questions that come up, and I go to those decrees. I have Archangel Michael also as a blue flame master, as a protector. You can ask Archangel Michael to protect you when you do not know that you're feeling like, oh, maybe this should be will of God, when it is not a will of God. It sounds like will of God, very quoted like will of God, but it's not. How do you discern that? So if you are saturated with the decrees, it takes time to saturate with decrees. But do that half an hour of decrees that we have posted it every month. You will find there is meditation, there are issues, fire flame decrees. You will feel, I mean that, you will feel gradual shift, change coming into you. It's like making from the metal, turning metal into gold, as alchemy of Saint Germain, turning the soul into Atma. Soul is a nashwar, it's a mortal. It becomes permanent. it becomes reunited with Atma, the higher self. And it beats into vibration. Your mind becomes the shining mind of God, like Almoria has, diamond shining mind. It happens as a gradually. You go through up and down. But those down hills will minimize slowly, slowly, slowly. It'll become a peak. It'll become a steady peak. So those valleys will become shorter, smaller, and soon it will disappear. You'll be just climbing the will of God. And that is a process, how you do that, how much you put into your effort, how hungry you are, how determined you are, how willing you are, how much you want that thing and only that. Not a miracle. God is a miracle. You think, oh, this has happened to me as a miracle. There is no miracle in life, ladies and gentlemen, except when we become to in the will of God. We call it miracle. Ho gaya, mere saath aaj ye ho gaya. God is showing you that is very close to you. We are merging with the will of God. That is a sign. So we want to become that miracle. You are the miracle because God in you is a miracle. I am that I am is a miracle. Why Guru in you? You are son and daughter of God. And someday you'll become a Sunday master, then you'll become God and goddesses. Then you'll become a cosmic being and even bigger. And you look back and your human body and other people and say, to help them. I was like that. I want to go and help them. Maybe you will, God will allow you, maybe not, because there are laws up there. Now, as a human body, we can help others by helping ourselves. If you feel self-pity, आज मेरा मूड नहीं है, आज मुझे कुछ ने वो कह दिया, आज मैं सोने का, आज मेरा. Take the word mood out, cross it out. Mood is related to moon, sympathy, self-pity, just human sympathy. You don't need a Sannyasa Chela, as a Almora Chela sympathy. You need compassion for you, towards yourself first. What you have is what you can give. If you have a sympathy towards yourself, you can give sympathy to others. So we are holding ourselves back. Ladies and gentlemen, my 2 words, if I am sounding like a little bit too strong, is that we have to get that in us non-resolution part in us. That is our negative mind that makes us feel lazy, poor me, why word is against me, why my family is against me. We created our karma. We chose to be in this time, and God gave us the toolbox. Look at that also. There is no injustices in this world. I'm telling you, as animal teaching, except one we make up for ourselves. Continue. Next, second bullet. For as a devotee, you will increase and increase and increase 3 times. Many shades of blue rings around you, your 4 Lord bodies, and the circumference of your life. Moria is saying that will of God, when you surrendered, you surrender what? You surrender your attachments to this desire, attachment to thoughts, attachment to property, attachment to, उसने मुझे ऐसा कह दिया, मुझे मेरा दिल हर, अरे attachment, no attachment, you should not be worried about that. Give your worries to God, you will Moria, the will of God decrease. आज decrease करने का दिल नहीं है मेरा. Next day you feel even worse. I don't want to decrease. I'm not decreasing for 1 week now. Some people say that to me. For 1 month now. How you started? Started one day. I did not want to decrease. आज picture देखेंगे, आज TV देखेंगे, आज वहाँ चलेंगे, आज वहाँ चलेंगे. So that temptation, ladies and Almora is watching us. He's there. So he's like saying, many chelas, they call themselves chelas by themselves. I am chela, Almora, people will say. But he says, Almora says, I don't call them my chela. You may think you are my chela, not me. Look through my eyes. We want to look through the eyes of Almora. Almora, I am your chela, and I will prove myself. I will come to you, Almora, with a begging bowl, no attachment, no my will, thy will. We have mantras. Not my will, not my will, not my will, but thine be done. Not my will, Not my will, but thine be done. Yeah. I'm come to do thy will, O God. I will do thy will, O God. Tera pana meetha lage, whatever you want to say that. Okay, continuing. Third bullet. And when you have proven yourself under fire and in many situations, untenable situations, this is what untenable, difficult, or whatever happening with myself is not happening with anyone in this world. Poor me, we say like that. Why me? Why God has chosen me? God, अन्याय है ये तो मेरे साथ ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? And Maharaj says nothing is injustice. I want to test your soul, how much you have strength. God will not give you more than what you can endure. But Maharaj knows that. Anyway, I'm continuing. And when you have proven yourself under fire and in many situations, untenable situations, devastating situations, and have come out right side up, and will know that we have a chela of the first order, and we will receive you, and you might be anointed before the council of in Darjeeling. Oh my God! Don't you want to be? And you have toy. Something I was a child. I was a toy. They gave me a toy. You flip upside, and when it comes in upside down, it goes. It lands on the floor. It's standing like on the feet. That's what he's talking about. Whatever you go through, around, this and that, punching this way and that way, but you are standing. Nothing can deter me. I am the child of the will of God. Almoria, I will not leave you comfortless. I will not leave you alone. You have given me this teaching because you saw that I can do it with your help. So help me, Almoria. I will not show you my back. I will not leave you comfortless. I will not be a lukewarm chela. Kosa, gunguna chela. No, I don't want to become like that. I want to be fiery chela. Help me, beloved. If I made a mistake, please forgive me. I will not do it again. I have done those kind of things myself. I was good Chela also. I'm not telling you that it is something, but we have this community, this group to share with it that we are not sitting on an ivory castle, becoming perfect. I say I'm perfect always. Nobody is perfect. If it's not, we would not be in a human embodiment. Others can see us, so we can tell others our stories, how we overcame. So they can also learn from us. They can share their stories with others, whom Almora will bring in touch with them later on. Last bullet. Yes, this is a very special opportunity. And all can make themselves. You can, I can, everyone can. With the help of Almoria, with the toolbox of Almoria, with the decrees to Almoria, with the songs to Almoria. There are very many songs you can listen to. You can become a keeper of the flame. You have a lesson to the keeper of the flame. Almoria will, you become yourself saturated with this teaching, ladies and gentlemen. Don't take them lightly. They will be here today. They may not be here tomorrow. Almoria will leave also because masters are not here permanently. They have not taken a vow to stay with us. They have other duties. As Guru Maharaj says, Almoria appeared to her and was gone, And he said, I have a need of a messenger in Washington, D.C. Go there. Then he was gone. They're busy. They're doing other things, helping others. Many souls like you, many planets maybe. Anyway, I'm looking at the watch. I think it's a little over 5 minutes my time. I'd like to welcome all of others who have joined while we were talking. Let's see. Pooja, Nikhale ji, welcome. Let's see. Satija ji, welcome. See anyone? I don't want to miss anyone. I think I don't see that other person. I think I saw someone else in a minute ago. So welcome all of you. So at this point, I would like to make one announcement, and I will turn over to Poonam and Jay for question and answer. I'm sure I might have some questions on this topic, on this today's meeting, how to manifest the ruby ray through the diamond art of Almoria that we talked about today, or anything else other than that. We have two announcements. On Tuesday, as every Tuesday, we have a 6 to 8 volume flame decrease, slow decrease, same link. same, 6 to 8 a.m. I know it's 2 hours. You cannot be there for 2 hours. Be there for as long as you can. I'll say maybe half an hour minimum. Very beautiful decrees, Wall flame decrees. You don't need a decree book. You just need to be there for, that they are done as an explanation is very beautiful. And they have slides on the screen and the slow decrees, Wall flame. They're not very fast decrees that you can follow them. Second announcement is that next service next meeting is going to be on May 28th. So I will be in America. I'm leaving this Wednesday, but we'll continue our Sunday meetings, our Tuesday meetings as before. No change in the Tuesday meetings, 6 to 8 a.m. But there's a change in the Sunday meeting. We'll have them from 4 p.m. Maybe a little, I don't know earlier for you or not, but we have chosen to make it 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. on Sunday, so people can go afterwards, whatever they want to do on Sunday evenings. They want to go outside, with their families or enjoy the evening in the summertime. So 4 to 5:30 p.m. starting next Sunday, same Zoom link. I'll be sending you that information more. We will be offering those hours of decrees. Please send your hours of your decrees on by Friday. This Friday to Poonam, so you can count them and tally them, and we offer those decrees to the masters. If you have not been doing that, please do that. The matrix is already posted on the Chananda prayer group for Ask Poonam. She'll be happy to send you that beautiful matrix. Also, we have a new matrix I've prepared already before I go. A couple of days ago, I was sitting as well. Let me prepare a new matrix because once I'm in America, I will be other things, family things. I've already prepared everything, beautiful matrix that will start for the month of June. I'll give you more information about the upcoming conference in Montana and how we can be part of that next week. So I think with that, I want to pass the torch to Poonam and Jay for a question and answer. I think we have 20 minutes. So let's have any question from anyone. Poonam, Jay?
Ji, sir. If anyone has question, raise your hand. Ji, Gitanjali ji.
Sir, first of all, good morning and thank you so much for this beautiful, delightful session. I don't know, whenever you say, I think I still feel I'm a very lukewarm chela when you were saying, and it's always nice to understand that we still need to do more for our own spiritual ascension in some way, because we get so entangled in our own lives and the purpose. I have two questions. One is, how do we know that we are balancing that 51% of karma, or we are supposed to do it? Because even in every day of living, we are doing some karmic balance. And though we will never know how much we have balanced or how much we are needed to balance, because there's also baggage from the previous lifetimes, is my belief system. How do we know, I mean, I'm sure it's still a death, if I can say, till the time where I die, I'll still be balancing some of the karmas. But how can we have that more awareness that we are doing it, is my first question. If you can answer that. And secondly was, I think first if you answer, I can think about the second one. There was something very strong coming up. So that's one thing I wanted.
Thank you very much. I like to say something about the lukewarm and consciousness or chela. I had that. I still consider myself. Am I a lukewarm chela? Am I doing enough? Can I do more? So I think there's a question from a healthy perspective that I want to make sure that I don't take myself for granted. That it doesn't become boastful. It doesn't become, I've overcome that. I'm fiery chela, and then becomes ego and So I think as a reminder, it's good to say it's called excelsior, consciousness of excelling, becoming more of light. Because otherwise, as I said before, it can many in the past yogis I've seen on the read about them, and this pride is very subtle, comes sudden. How I have read so many books. I've been doing degrees so many years. I've been, so many years, so many paths. I have this. I've done that. And then next thing I know is that, it's the road downward slow, the slide begins. So I think it's good to know, remember that we are we are striving, not struggling. We are striving to go higher, and we want to use that consciousness to keep on keeping on in a positive mode. So don't take that as a downward thing that I must be terrible chela because I'm lukewarm. No, that is a condemnation. We don't want to go there. So just take it as a positive to give us more gas, more energy, keep on higher. Second question, main question of that. So how do we know that how much karma I have balanced, or if we are balancing any karma, or if I'm doing something, And this question is very common, very. It was one time, I remember in 1995 or something, Almoria, Sunday Master Almoria, he invited all the people on the staff. There were 700 people on the staff at that time in Montana. And he said, anyone who wants to know how much karma they have balanced, the staff, only the staff member, they can come in the conference room and he will, one by one, they will stand up and he will tell them how much karma they have balanced. And all of those who wanted that, some of them did not want to know that, so they did not come. So I do not know how many people, how many staff members came to that group. But he announced that someone had balanced, different percentages, 40%, 40 to 60 was the range that I remember that, and but answering your question, I was not there. I was not on the staff. I did not know. I did not want to know myself, by the way. I was listening to at that time we did not have this video or audio technology. We used to have a telephone patch, we call it. So we put the telephone in front of the mic, and speakers, everybody would hear, what was being said, in Montana. That was the old way of listening to the conversation in the conference, So I think the way I think if I was there, I do not want to know that, as I said, because I said it does not matter for me. But if this is the reason, because I thought if I knew that, it could trigger in me my shift in I would have to put more energy, positively speaking. I have to balance more karma. That is a good thing. But it could also trigger in me something, more, maybe positively, but not maybe more towards that thing, not very positively. I know it could be a very positive thing for all those who knew that they made more progress. But for me, it was like, I'd rather like to keep it like that. How I know, how we know, how anyone knows is making a balancing the karma without knowing that, without the presence of messenger telling us, because Guru Ma used to tell also people, through the permission of Almoria, people wanted to know that messenger is not there. So you ask Almoria for something. Almoria want to know that, do I need to, can you please tell me how much karma I have balanced? If I need to know that, I will say that a caveat. If you think I need to know that, please tell me that. I think that is he is very personable master, Moria. We are all personable. If you are ready, if you need to know that, he will definitely tell you. If you are not ready, he will not tell you. If the second case happens, you will notice a progress in your consciousness, in your behavior, in your attitude, in your day-to-day sitting and waking and interacting with people, with yourself, your in connection with your higher self, your slowness in responding to people, not getting upset or angry or anxiety energies coming to you, becoming more forgiving toward yourself, more service to others. Those are the signs, because our karma makes us heavy in our chakras. So really, we become a slave. You can say we are slaves of our karma, karmic energy, and we are in a bondage, So as those chains are get broken by the karma being balanced, negative karma is related to the moksha, to the karma balancing. As negative karma is transmuted from where is negative karma stored? Negative karma is stored in our electronic belt, in our subconscious mind, subconscious, unconscious. Subconscious where soul is. The soul is in the subconscious level. It's over there. As the energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Karma has energy, by the way. Everything is energy. So as the karma gets balanced, the energy from the electronic belt from the soul gets transmuted and goes to the higher top figure, which is our causal body, the I am rings, becomes that. So that becomes our good karma. Bad karma becomes good karma. We feel lighter. We feel heavier. When we feel lighter, our chakras are spinning faster. Are we getting more vibration is changing? We will think faster. We'll feel things to do better. We'll be more serving. We'll be more observing ourselves and others. And our behavior changes. Our happiness increases. Or you write more poems. I know you will be sorry as a doctor. You will be able to see every patient. You will feel that. How are you doing, my so patient? How are you doing today? Were you able to sleep last night? You're paying more attention, more giving, more service. Everything. And those are the signs that karma, that the weight is going on, getting rid of that weight. Karma is balancing. So how much? That is the question. How much? How do we know that 51%, yeah, 40, 61, yeah, 71? So ask Almoria if you need to know that. Almoria, do I need to know that? It will help me. I'll make sure that I will do my dweller calls, 20.09. That I will not, that dweller does not take that energy at some level to make me feel boastful or make me look at others down, in a way that I'm better than they are. So you have to be protected. All to Archangel Michael. Also be praying to him that Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael has taken a vow to help us, everyone. He was a chill loving master, 24/7. So I think those are the things. Have Archangel Michael and have the dweller call 20.09. Do more degrees if you can do that. Other than everyone is doing what I have given to everyone is a very simple matrix. But if you want to do instead of that, you don't have to do that. If you think they're too simple, too many, you want to do some bigger degrees. But we make a note of that, and when Poonam calls, you can send Poonam, I've done 3 hours, 4 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours, 20 hours of degrees. We offer those degrees. They also count. So I'm just giving some of the tips, and I hope that will be helpful.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. So one more question is that many times while being on the spiritual path, while you get energized and you are moving into a different vibration, and so you have a certain will for service. How do I differentiate that what I'm doing now, like or what I'm holding in the future, is my will or the will of God? Because that is a very conflicting place sometimes, because somewhere as whatever humans we have been able to evolve, we are fully not there. So you tend to have certain human tendencies. I mean, as like you said, boastfulness and something that arises from the ego. So you don't know whether it is your ego playing or whether it's the will of God descending upon you to serve as a channel of light and do the service. So how can you navigate that path? Because it gets very confusing. Is it me or is it him?
Very good question. I'll say like this. I think I mentioned that dweller call 20.09. That is a must. Dweller, you got to cast it out every day. Even Krishna ji said that in his dictation. Krishna ji is saying that dweller call is very important, So we have to cast that dweller negative mind. So if casting out means because it will influence our thinking, as you said, very subtly. human rationale, human justification. अरे वो भी तो ठीक लग रहा है, ये भी ठीक लग रहा है, तो दोनों में से कौन सा ठीक हो सकता है, So I think when you do the dweller call 1 time, 2 time, 3 times a day, so I think that is one way to answer that thing. Secondly is this: if you have a degree, you have degree book.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, on the 10.03 on the back side of decree 10.03 is a bonding prayer. 10.03a called 10.03a. उसका footnote में देखना, उसमें लिखा हुआ है कि you write a letter what you need and put a wallet size picture of Almoria on your right knee and fold that letter. Also fold it and put on your right knee. Fold it.
Yeah, you have sent that to us earlier. You have told us to that whole process to us.
So you write a letter to Almoria. That's what you just said. How do I know that? How do I know? Help me discern that. Moria will take on. He said that he will take on your personal burdens. See, I call it a burden. How do I discern that?
Right.
Future में मैं ये plan करना चाहती हूँ, कर रही हूँ, ठीक है नहीं कर रही हूँ. So these are it is not. I'm doing Almoria. I'm doing that call to dweller, doing everything. But if you can give me a political word, a double engine, I think they said, double engine मुझे मिल जाएगा आपका. So I'll be doing my engine, but your engine is I'll be able to get that. So do that also in that Almoria ko na. You write that letter and keep updating that letter. You do not have to keep a letter only one time. Develop a relationship one-on-one with Almoria, with your I am presence, with your decrees. These decrees have a meaning. Each line has a meaning. So there's a 10 point, I think 18 decree to the sweet surrender to our holy vow. Sweet surrender to our holy vow. ये भी Almoria की word, Almoria की decree है. उसमें ना our will to thee be sweetly surrendered now. So you chant that. There are some songs to Almoria on the YouTube by Summit Lighthouse. Only by Summit Lighthouse. That's all I recommend that. They have wording also. Song to Guru, song to Almoria. Guru Maharaj said that saturate yourself with Almoria's presence so much that this kind of questions he will take away all your human level justification, human level thinking, and saturate you slowly. As he sees that this chela is really desirous, is working, is making progress, he will love to really give his light. Double engine की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं, as you to really make more progress. I think that's some of the things that I would suggest.
No, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. This is very insightful and very helpful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Tani ji.
Ji, morning, uncle.
Good morning.
I had 3 questions. The first question is, I was going through the decree book, and 0.20 decree, special decree for Christ unfoldment of the ones you love. Is it all right to do this decree for children and family members and friends who request for healing or prayers or blessings, or the call and say ki,
Number क्या है इसका बताना?
0.20.
Oh, 0.20. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at it in my decree book. Here it is. Yeah, of course. A special decree for the Christ involvement of ones you love, and you can put in a blank. Yeah, all the names
Yes,
that you
uncle.
are praying
So,
for. Yes.
uncle, my question is, because I have pets and all. So if there's a pet who's not well or something, can we also, animals also come in our loved ones? No, we can add.
Yes, you can add. I think pets have the difference between pets and the human beings is this, but you can add. Definitely, you can add.
Okay.
You can send them love. The pets or the animal or elemental kingdom, they do not have a threefold flame. Pets do not have a threefold flame. So we have, but we can also pray for them to get a threefold flame. That's something new.
Okay.
Next life, when they die, when pass away, you can pray for their healing. You can pray for them. You can pray to their. There are elemental hierarchs. They are. I think it's a 0.07 B 0.07 निकालेंगे वो?
The prayer for the elementals, uncle?
हाँ वो मैं कह रहा हूँ. You can give that
हाँ
for,
जी,
for
हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
I'm sorry. 0.7
7.07 set the elementals free.
set the
Seven-
7.07 or 7.07 B. So thank you, Jay.
Okay.
You can give that answer.
जी. Second question was the information that you were just sharing about karmas in the electronic belt and the karmas are stored there. Where can I read about this more?
Jay, any?
Can you please repeat the question?
So uncle was mentioning about the karmas being released and like negative karma is in the electronic belt, subconscious mind. So where can I find information, any book that can be mentioned or suggested that I can read?
Uh, you want to know information about negative karma
Karmas.
of like you want to learn about negative karma, or you want to know how much negative karma do you have?
I want to read about karmas being formed,
So
karma being
so so
released.
there is a book, Karma and Reincarnation. I think that's the basic book one should start with. And once you
Ji.
read that book, then there's a second stage. So until you read that book, then only we can recommend you the second stage, whichever
And this
comes.
book is by Summit Lighthouse.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So now the third question was that आपने mention किया था कि there are retreats, it's like we can call and we can make the call and we can communicate with the masters and we can request the masters to take us to the retreats. Is there any proper procedure for this that is mentioned anywhere in any of the books?
I'm thinking maybe I have something in writing. I'll say there is a little write-up. I have prepared a brochure some time ago. I'll ask Poonam if we can find that on this. There was a one-page back, two sides on one sheet of paper. But also, I think Jay, you remember something we have there on the PSL encyclopedia, making calls to the masters.
Sir, for the retreat, there is a book called as Masters and they Retreat by with us. If we want to know the retreats of the master, but for the calls, I think I need to check for the calls, because basically what generally we do is that there's a app. I can ask my wife. I'm not sure. She uses an app which tells you which retreat you have to go tonight, and then there's a prayer with that. Like there's a prayer mentioned in that app. Then you can say that prayer, and then that's it. But generally you can even say any prayer you want to say, like in the name of the light of God, it never fails. I would like beloved Paul Divination and beloved Archangel Michael to protect me while I'm going for the retreat of love. And you should have that name of the retreat, which you will find in the book Masters and the Retreat. And yes, on TSN Encyclopedia, if you put the master, you will find the retreat, which retreat they go to, which retreat they have, actually. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, uncle. Thank
You're
you, Poonam.
welcome.
It was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bede. Any other questions? Okay.
No.
It's okay. One question, two question, three gone, going, gone. 11:30. 11:30.
Gary, you want to say something?
Gary, my friend, anything? No, I think it's probably late over there. In Miami, Florida, so it's kind of late at night.
No
So
questions.
I think, yeah, okay, I'm going to, here is a book, Karma and Reincarnation. You can read that, Taniji, from the
I think
church.
Poonam has the hard copy in the library to maybe you can contact Poonam. She might have a copy to to give it to you.
Yes, I have.
ठीक है. Chalo. So I guess I'll see you on Tuesday if you can, if you are able. Otherwise, I'll see you next Sunday from over there. Different timing. So I think God bless you all. Jay, would like to make a feeling or
Okay, sir, I can do the same.
you can?
Yeah, I will. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
In the name of light of God that never fails, in the name of light of God that never fails, in the name of light of God that never fails, we call to beloved Moria, beloved Archangel Michael, beloved great divine director, to guide us, protect us, and bless us with all the love and compassion, to take us to high retreats, to take us, we ask Moria to invite us to his retreat so that we can learn more about the will of God, and we always bow in front of the will of God. Let it be in God's will. Amen.
Thank you all. God bless you, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Have a nice
Thank you, sir.
afternoon.
God bless you.
Thank you,
you.
Uncle.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Poonam.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very
Jay.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Gratitude, sir. Gratitude.
Yellow light.